Hello.
Yes, may I audible to all?
Yes, sir, you are audible. Good afternoon, sir.
Good
Welcome, sir.
afternoon.
Welcome,
Thank
sir.
you.
Everyone knows Dr. Govind Gupta, sir. Sir, without wasting our time, you are starting your session.
Yes. So
Okay,
I'm
sir.
going to share my the PPT.
जी sir, जी sir.
So is the PPT visible to all?
Yes, sir. Your tweet is visible.
So in this session, we will study about some how to use the Hyperledger Fabric. So yesterday, I have discussed about the some architecture of. Can you please switch off your mic? So yesterday we have learned about some architecture of Hyperledger Fabric, how the Hyperledger Fabric component, how they interact to each other. Okay, how the networks are deployed. Okay, how the transaction is going on within the different peers. Okay, what are the different functionalities of peers. Okay, what is the chain code. Okay, how to program the chain code. Now, first I'm going to discuss the installation, how to install the Hyperledger Fabric. You can install Hyperledger Fabric in Ubuntu as well as Windows 10. So since Windows 10 come up with the Linux kernel, you have to uh, just activate the Linux kernel, and by default in Windows 10 Pro, a bash shell is given uh, by the Microsoft. Okay, so generally in the Windows setting, Windows subsystem for Linux, you have to set, okay, in order to install the uh, Hyperledger Fabric. Similarly, by default, it is available how to install the Hyperledger Fabric 18.4. Now, since due to the evolution of Hyperledger Fabric from June 2017 to till now, okay, presently the current version of Hyperledger Fabric is 2.2. So in the second version, they have enhanced a lot of features. They have included a lot of features. Okay. So I'm going to demo based on the version 2.2. It may be possible if you are going to execute the same code in the version 1.4 or 1.1. Okay, it might give you the some error. Okay, then we will learn the how to create the fabric network. Okay, and then how to observe uh, the peers. Okay, how many channels are created within the network. Okay, how the chain codes are deployed to the peers. Okay, uh, how many orderers are there and all that. And if time permit, then I'll discuss how to invoke the chain code and how to perform the queries. So in order to cover all this topic, it required 3 to 5 hours. Okay, but I try to cover as much as possible. So first, I'm going to discuss the installation of Hyperledger Fabric uh, for the Ubuntu 8.04. So before going to install the Hyperledger Fabric, you have to install some prerequisite packages. Okay, so in order to smooth running the container, so since Hyperledger Fabric using the container technology, it using the container technology, okay, and generally it is using a Docker. Okay, so Docker is a container technology. So God, you can say Docker is a software which facilitate the packaging of software. So suppose if you want to move a software from one system to another system, you can easily move. Just like you are transporting some item from one country to another country within a container. So a container in this, all the item are stuffed, packed, okay. In a digital container, what happened? Digital lock is uh, is set here, and then during the logistics, during the different ports, this container reaches to the recipient, and the recipient uses the pin code for opening the digital lock of the container. In the same concept, in order to transport the software package from one system into the another system, okay, uh, a packaging software was developed that is called the Docker. So why we require this kind of technology? Because during the transportation of a software package, there is a lot of dependency associated with this of the system. So suppose you are running Ubuntu 18.04, okay, and suppose Hyperledger Fabric is developed over the Ubuntu 12.04. Okay, and presently suppose you are using the Ubuntu 18.4. Okay. So maybe the some version of the others associated software which are helpful in developing this software for this platform, okay, is may not be available here, okay, yeah, may have some higher version is available. So in order to resolve the dependency of underlying layer, okay, a Docker technology is used. So what happened? The developer uses the Docker. Over the Docker, it develop its software, okay, and then it packages the whole software within the Docker. Okay, so whenever anyone wants to runtime system or software, okay, they just fetch the Docker whole image by using the curl command. Curl nothing but a client URL. I'll discuss what is curl. Okay, so generally we need to install the curl package. So curl is nothing but we say the curl command. Okay, a client URL. Client URL. Okay, so what is the purpose of this curl? So curl is nothing but a command line software, a code uh, which facilitate the transportation of data or file from one system to another system. Okay, and the argument of this is a URL. Okay, so suppose you have stored your software at the GitHub. Okay, and suppose your friends wants your software, yeah, your own code. Okay, so by just giving the URL of the source to your friend, and your friend using the curl command and download the whole software to your to his system. Okay, so the first you need to install the curl, then we need to install the Docker and Docker Compose. Then we need to install the Go language. So since Hyperledger Fabric is developed by using the Go language, so you need a Go runtime environment. So that's why now for the version Fabric 2.2, you need to install Go language either 1.13 or higher version. Okay, because Hyperledger Fabric 2.2, okay, at least the requirement of Go is 1.13 or higher. If we are using the 1.11, okay, then the chain code which is developed in the Go gives us some error. Okay, so there is a dependency. Okay. Now you need some. Yesterday I have talked about. There are three type of SDK. Sorry, two type of SDK supported by Hyperledger Fabric. One is the Node.js, and other is the Java. Means if any web application you have developed, then you can easily invoke the functionality of blockchain with help of these interface provided by the Fabric. Okay, so in order to you have to install the Node.js, okay, and then you have to install some command line client that is called the npm software. Okay, and this npm is nothing but a default package manager for the JavaScript. Okay, So suppose you are writing a chain code program by using the JavaScript. Okay. So yesterday I have talked about the smart contract and chain code. Okay, so what happened? We write the smart contract code by using the Java. Okay, and for packaging, for making the chain code, we need some packaging software. Okay, and in order to package the JavaScript, we require the npm. Okay, so npm is a default package manager for the JavaScript runtime environment node.js. Okay, now there are some dependency. This uh, your fabric has some functionality which require the Python 2.7. Okay, so by default, your latest version of Ubuntu 18.04 is come up with the Python 3 point something. Okay, so you need to install the old version of Python 2.7. So how to install? So before going to installation of the curl, first check is the curl is available at your system or not. If it is available, okay, by availability you can check by this command curl hyphen double hyphen and version. Okay, if some output is shown, okay, with particular version of curl, it means curl is already installed. If curl is not installed, then you have to execute these three instructions. Okay, so first what you have to, over the command line, you have to write sudo update means you just ask for the update of the auxiliary packages, and then install the curl by simply calling sudo update install curl. Okay, and then check the curl version. So once again I revise, curl is nothing but a command line uh, uh, software which helps to transport the file from one system to another system. Okay, with help of URL as a argument. So this is called the client URL. Now the second step is the installation of Docker and Docker Compose. Okay, so since your fabric is developed by using the container technology, okay, Docker. So in order to install the any functionality of fabric, you should have a Docker runtime environment. Okay, so both for Windows and Linux, you have to install the Docker and Docker Compose. Okay, Docker Compose is used for packaging the different component within the Docker. So it's an auxiliary package for the Docker. So in order to install both packages, there is a single command. Okay, so you see here, in order to install this Docker and Docker Compose, we are using the curl. Okay, the argument is your URL here. Okay, so this URL, at this URL, your Docker is available. Docker and Docker Compose is available. This is some option we have taken for the curl. So this represent your what kind of channel curl are using, okay, for downloading the software. Okay, so here SSL, secure socket layer, is used. Okay, so generally curl is designed curl is designed to facilitate all kind of protocol like the FTP, okay, HTTP, post office protocol you have learned in the computer network, okay, IMAP. So mostly all application layer software, SCP, then SFTP. Okay, so it's not only support the FTP, it support all. Okay, so you have to just change the options. Okay, now here you have added some key, okay, for authentication purpose. So this key is generally a key is transported and that is verified after downloading uh, as a whole to your parent system. Okay. Now, then next here, you have to add the Docker. Okay, within the source means you have to make available Docker for uh, using installing the auxiliary packages. So simply you have to call a command sudo add update repository and this URL, the URL where your packages is available. Okay, and stable package is required. And then after downloading and extraction of the Docker and Docker Compose package, you have to update the all auxiliary or supported software by calling sudo update update, and then you have to restart your system. Okay. Why we are going to restart? Because we require the runtime Docker engine, okay, in order to facilitate the runtime environment for the Hyperledger Fabric. Now, in order to install the Docker Composer, you have to use this command. Okay, and now after downloading the Docker requires some special authorization, okay, in order to use it. Okay, so in order to provide some authorization to the Docker for facilitating the execution environment for Fabric, you have to change the user mode. Okay, so user mode, this is the command shell command of the Linux. Okay, so simply you use it here. Okay, now after this, okay, you have to test is the Docker is successfully installed or not. Okay, so in order to check, simply run the Docker double hyphen version. So if the command line give you the some output, okay, it means Docker is installed. Okay, similarly Docker Compose, you can check. Okay. Then in next third step, you have to install the Go language. So in order to install the Go language, simply you download the tar file of the Go language by using the curl command and give the URL. Okay, then extract the tar file by using this command. Okay, okay, then you have to set the path. So in order to check the Go is what is the version of Go, simply you write the Go version. Here there is no need of write the 2 hyphen. Okay, just like in the previous command for Docker version and Docker Compose, before version we have to type the double hyphen. In the Go, in order to check the version of Go, there is no need to type the hyphen. Now, after that, you have to set the path of your bin file path to the environment. So in order to set the path, you have to execute these 2 commands at the terminal. Simply type this and press enter. Okay. Okay, so after that you have to install the node.js and npm software. Okay, so in order to install the node.js, again we use the curl command, give the URL of your node.js. Okay, and then after downloading this, you simply a script file with extension .sh. Okay, so this is a script file available. So just like in the window there is a executable file, in the Linux there is a script file. Okay, so simply you write the script file, okay, with the bash terminal. Okay, and it extract and set the all the dependency and all the environment that is written in the script file. Okay. Once it is set, then you have to install the node.js by this command sudo update install node.js. Okay, and then check. So these by default these uh, come up with the packaging software is also npm. Okay, so now in order to check both node.js and uh, npm is installed or not, simply check at the command prompt. Okay, node-v means if there is a version appear as the output, okay, it means it is successfully installed, and simply you check the version of npm. Now after that you have to install the Python 2.7. In order to install the Python, simply write the sudo update install Python and check its version. Okay. Now these 5 steps are required. Once these successfully 5 steps are executed, now all the prerequisite requirement for installing the Hyperledger Fabric are done. Now your system is ready to install the Hyperledger Fabric 2.2. Okay, so simply in order to install the latest version, so this is the actually a compressed form of URL. Okay, actually the URL of the Hyperledger Fabric is very large. So at the website of Hyperledger Fabric, they have provided a very compressed form of URL, which is pointing to the software of Hyperledger Fabric. So simply you are executing this command at the command terminal. Okay, and after successful, this takes some time. Okay, because a lot of packages is going to be download one by one, so it takes around 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, depend upon the speed of internet. Okay, and around 500 to 700 megabit packages this. So after download and execution, it automatically since there is no need to execute this Hyperledger Fabric. Here we are just transporting the container. Okay, a container which contains all the supporting packages of the Hyperledger Fabric. Okay, so simply you are transporting the Docker image, your container image, to your runtime Docker, okay, at the local machine. So simply a image is going to put here at your local machine Docker container. Okay. So once it is successfully done, okay, it gives you the output. Okay, it is successfully built. Then you have to set the path of bin. So there is a bin folder. So whenever you are going to install this Hyperledger Fabric, there is a folder. After successful download, there is a folder automatic. A new folder is created. Okay, that is the name is the fabric-samples. Okay, so within this there is a folder bin. Okay, there is a folder bin. So that path you have to set. So simply export. Here is the path where you have downloaded the this fabric-sample. So just find out the path of by using the command pwd. Okay, at the command prompt where you have installed. Okay, so same path you have to put here. Okay, and then /bin colon $sign and path. So this is required. So automatically all the auxiliaries of packages which required, which create the runtime environment for the Fabric, is automatically taken from the bin. Okay. Now how to install Fabric in the window? So in this you have to explicitly install the Docker for the window. Okay, and then you have to change some environment. Okay, so I'm going to show because I'm using the window for in this pandemic, since I'm taking the lecture from my home, so I'm not able to use the workstation of my uh, office. So I'm taking the my laptop. So simply I have already set the Linux environment for the window bash. So simply I type the bash. There is a terminal opened. Is it visible to all? Yes. Is the terminal visible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I just want to give you a view how to set the environment for the window. So uh, you just go to the setting. Uh, no, what is this? So let me. That is. Yes. So okay. Uh, let me check 1 minute. Oh, sorry. That is coming a window feature. Yes. So since we have to add the uh, we have to set some feature of window. So in Windows 10 Pro, uh, by default it has provided the kernel, Linux kernel, for using the cell programming of kernel for executing. So by default, what you have to do, you have to set the hypervisor. Okay, so by default this is disabled. Okay, so you have to enable this. Okay, in order to install the Docker. Okay, because in the Docker the multiple, now after that uh, you have to set the window PowerShell 2.0 and then Windows subsystem for Linux. Okay, so these three things you have to set by opening the window feature on and off. I once again revise: Windows subsystem for Linux, then hypervisor, and then uh, PowerShell 2.0. Okay, so once you set, okay, a bash command automatically appear. So simply you just type the bash, a bash terminal is open here. Okay. Now I have installed uh, my software, okay, into a C folder, and I have created a workspace. So simply I am going to the place where I have installed uh, workspace. Okay. Now in this folder, I have installed the Hyperledger Fabric. You see, so once it is installed, a folder fabric-samples is by default created. So simply go to the fabric sample. Okay. Now you see in this, is it font is clear? Yes. Uh, you know, these are the some difficult technology, and teaching in online mode is very difficult for me. Okay, uh, it's very beneficial if this kind of things is happening uh, in mode, not online mode. So uh, it required a lot of patience, and it required a lot of knowledge of cell programming. So I'll try my best. Okay. So after installation of Fabric Simple, okay, I just want to show you the different packages available in Hyperledger Fabric. Okay. So you see here uh, there is a bin folder which facilitate all the auxiliary packages for providing the runtime environment for execution of Fabric network. There is a chain code folder in which you have to uh, write your own chain code. So simply I'm going to show you the chain code. Okay. So here you see some by default chain code is available like FabCar, okay, ABAC, SAC, and some chain code is written outside of this folder. So by default, presently, if you are not setting any chain code, so by default, if you are going to deploy the chain code, your Fabric in version 2.2 uses a chain code that is named is the asset transfer basic. Okay, so simply if you want to transfer some asset from one peer to another peer, okay, so how to what are the rules? So these rules are set up into the asset transfer dot basic. Now, in order to create the Fabric network, okay, a test network package is given in the Fabric. So I'm going to explain how to create the Fabric network. So simply go to the test network. Okay. Now you just expand it. Now you see here in this, there is a script file network.sh. Okay. So in the script file, all the process of execution of the network functionality is given. Okay, so you can see the uh, code here. So you see a series of command, okay, is available here, and some set of how to set the path for the uh, created network. Okay, so if you see there are some instruction which is should be displayed, okay, during the execution if one step is completed, that is given, and then there are a series of cell command is written. Okay, so one by one. So what we do, initially yesterday I have told you, first what we do, first we create the, before submitting the transaction, what we do, first we send the transaction to the endorsing node, and endorsing node, before sending to the endorsing node, we first get the certificate. Okay, so I'm going to show, okay, how the certificate is created. Okay, and how the certificate is created, and after certificate creation, okay, how the peers are created, how the channels are created among the peers, and so on. Okay, so in order to up the network, if I'm going to check, is there any existing Docker image is running or not. So the command is docker ps. So okay, yes, okay, good. You know, if some error is appear, then you only learn. So this error is sometimes you perceive during the using of the uh, Hyperledger Fabric. Okay, so error is the can't connect to the Docker daemon and this. Okay, so don't worry. There is a solution. In order, if such kind of things happen, then you have to just set the port number. So in order to solve this, simply run this. So since I have already come up with these kind of errors, so I have listed the what should be the solution. So this error can't connect to the Docker daemon. Okay, is the Docker daemon running? Is sometimes, yeah, many times appear. Okay, because by default, okay, Docker is not available uh, for execution. Okay, so now it successfully set. Now you see the last command. We have used the uh, we have set a host IP addresses. Okay, and with the port number 2375. Okay, for interacting with the Docker. Now by using the Docker ps command, now you see that it is successfully executed. Now there is a no container, yeah, image is available presently. Okay, it means your container is empty. Okay, now in order to create the new uh, network, simply execute the shell command. Okay, the shell script network.sh, and since you have to start your network, simply you write the up. Okay, so your script is executed. Okay, now I'm going to explain what happened in the script. Okay, one by one. Okay, so yes, so our command is here. Yes, so we have executed our command here. So what happened? First, before creation of the network, you are just checking what is the version of your fabric. Okay, what is the version of your Docker images. Okay, and then first, before creation of network, any peers first contact to the CryptoGen. So CryptoGen is a package which provide या issue the certificate. Okay, so you see here, just first your peer, any peer which you are going to be part of the network, first contact to the CryptoGen tool, and CryptoGen tool generate the certificate for the peers. Okay, so you see here, after generation of the certificate, what, so in this example, what we do, we are going to create uh, two peers. Okay, this PPT is visible to all. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, it is.
Yes. So what we are going to show with help of example, I am going to create the two peer. Okay. So the first one is called the org1, another is called the org2, and in both organization, a single peer 0 and peer 0 attached. Okay, and we are going to create a, a channel. The name of channel is the my channel. Okay, so with help of this channel, both peers belonging to the different organization are going to communicate. Okay, now in order to facilitate the consensus protocol and the certificate authority, uh, by default orderer and the CA orderers are attached to both peers. Okay, so you see, after certificate, the first ORG is created. Okay, and the name of ORG is this ORG1 example. Excuse me. Yes, org1 example.com. Okay, this is the name of org1, and the name of org2 is org2.example.com. Okay, so two organizations is created, org1 and org2. Okay, after that, uh, you have to create the orderer. After creation of orderer, you have to attach, yeah, install the orderer to both organization, org1 and org2. Okay, so first creating the orderer. Okay, so before creating the orderer, use a certificate and then verify. So here again a CryptoGen is called, and for the verification purpose. And then uh, what we do, we have to create the peers. Okay, so uh, you see here, creating the orderer here, that is done. Creating the peer 0 for organization 2, creating the peer 0 for organization 1, done. Okay, and then if you see, these images are run. So how many Docker images are available? Simply write the Docker PS. So you see there are three images. I'm going to enlarge it. So simply I am typing Docker PS. Okay. So presently there are three Docker images are available. Okay. So what are these? The first represent the org1. So since I am using a single machine, in the same machine, okay, I have created the three images. Okay, a three different entity and how they are communicating. Okay. Suppose in the real time, what happened? These images belong to the different machine. Okay, so these are the three images. Okay, one is the peer0.org1.example.com, another one is the peer0.org.example.com, and other is the orderer.example.com. Okay, so these three images, Docker images, are available in this local system. Okay, now see, when they are created, okay, what is the port number they are going to listen. Okay, so since if you are going to deploy in real time deployment, okay, of your blockchain network, so what happened, you have to set your port number, the port number through which each peer listen the communication. Okay, so before starting the Docker, I have set the port number. So you see here, at this port number 7051, they are this is going to the listen. So their own port number they are going to share to each other. Okay, so maybe some of you, if you know the socket programming, in the TCP socket programming, we are going to set the port number for client as well as server. Okay, so the same method. So in order to understand the internal of these things, you should know the some network programming experience. Okay, now once a network is created, means a dummy network is created where there is a two node and there is a my channel. Now if you want to check, okay, what is the uh, uh, what is the name of channel. Okay, so simply you just write Docker execute. Now suppose I want to use the since channel is associated to the each peer. Okay, so suppose I'm using this one. So simply write the peer0 dot org1 dot example.com. Okay, and then simply peer connection initialized, okay, and your channel peer has joined. The channel peer has joined. Similarly, you can use the org2 here also. Okay. Okay, channel peer has joined. Okay. Now, next, I just want to add word state to each peer. Okay. So I just want to see the output here. Um, so before going to add the word state, I need to shut down the network. So in order to shut down, okay, what is the command? Simply write the down. Now here I want to add a CouchDB word state to each peer. So in order to add the CouchDB, simply I'm writing the up command, and then during the execution, simply I write the -s CouchDB. Now you see, again you check the what is the status of your Docker. Now you see here, there are two. These are the your initial network of the two organization, and each organization is having the peer. Okay, and each peer is having in its own word state. Okay, and word state is nothing but a database that is maintained in the CouchDB. So for the each peer, the two word state is created. One is the CouchDB 0 and another is the CouchDB 1. Okay, so whatever the transaction created by the peer, okay, first locally stored in the CouchDB. Okay, and after consensus and ordering process, it is going to include into the blockchain. Okay, so this is the way for attaching the word state. Okay, you can also use your uh, certificate authority to the container. Okay, so how to add the certificate authority to each peer? So simply I'm going to down the network. So why I'm every time I'm going to down it, because since the same name image should not be available, should not be put into the Docker, it gives you the error. Okay, so since I am going to observe the behavior of the same images, and since same images already exist in the Docker, then you have to clean it. Okay. So in order to check, in order to attach the CA, simply write the /network up CA. Now you see here what happened in this Docker. Okay, so you see here there is a, a, a command line interface is attached, okay, to the each peer, okay, in order to interact. So you see there are two things. One is either you are using the Fabric SDK. Okay, so Fabric SDK is a tool which on behalf of client is going to interact with the system peer. Okay, so there are two things. Either you can submit your transaction by using the command line interface, either you are going to submit your transaction by using the Fabric SDK, JavaScript, Node.js, or Java. Okay, so here actually I am using the Go chain code, so that's why I am attaching the command line interface. Now the next is how to how to create a channel, a new, how to add a new channel. Okay, so existing channel name is, you know, the my channel, and suppose I want to create a new channel. Okay, so since in Fabric the multiple channels supported by the Hyperledger Fabric, so how to bring up a new channel, I'm going to show you. So in order to create a new channel, what happened, this network is already created, which is having a by default channel, and name of channel is my channel. So suppose I'm going to create a new channel, and the name of channel is suppose India. Okay, so simply I'm going to write a command, uh, network.sh. So before going to that, you have to down it. Otherwise, it create a up and then yet. So by default, the name of channel we have set my channel. Okay, so the my channel is activated within the two organization, ORG1 and ORG2. Okay, so I'm going to show you how it is created. Okay, so channel successfully joined. Okay, so you see what happened here. Yes, so since before creation of channel, your network is, you can say a network is without edges, just like a graph. So graph, if it is not having any edges, okay, then there is no communication. So what happened, whenever you are going to activate the channel, what happened, uh, a genesis block is by default created. Okay, so what is the, you know, in the blockchain, Genesis block is the first block, okay, of the blockchain. Okay, so you see here, first a certificate is created by using the CryptoGen tool, and then uh, ORG1 and ORG2, those two nodes is created. Okay, and after that, it is going to create a orderer node, and after that it is going to set Genesis. Yes, I'm going to show you. Hmm. Yes, generate orderer Genesis block. Okay, so a Genesis block is created whenever you are going to create activate the channel. Okay. So channel is activated, it means you are ready for the transaction. So if you are ready for the transaction, then there should be a Genesis block. Okay, so a Genesis block is created. Genesis block is the first block. Okay, just like a header of your linked list. Yeah. Now after that, a channel is created. Okay, and that channel you see here, the name of that channel is the my channel. So since this is we have already included into the script network.sh. Okay, so that is another that is out of scope of this talk, how to create the script writing. So in order to use Hyperledger Fabric, you should know the shell programming, Linux shell programming, and little bit of Linux Unix network programming or Linux network programming. Without these two knowledge, you will not able to manage the network. Okay, hyperledger fabric network. So the channel, once channel is created, this channel is associated to the both end, ORG1 and ORG2. So you see here, uh, after channel creation, endorser and orderer is also initiated for both party, ORG1 and ORG2. And this is, so now I want to show you the real image created in the Docker. Okay. So this is a Docker image. Okay. So you see, these two peer are started. This is the name of these two peer. This is the orderer node. These are the port. Okay. Now I want to add a new channel within this. Okay. So what I do, I simply run the network sh create channel. Okay. -c and then name of channel. Suppose name of channel is India. Okay. Now there are two channels is created between the both end. Okay. org1 peer0.org1 and peer0.org2. Okay. So I'm going to show you. Okay, it is successfully created. So I just want to see you what is the how many channels exist. So simply write the docker ex execute command exec, then your peer name. So I'm going to show the first one, peer0 dot org1 dot example dot com peer channel list. You see here, there are two channels exist. The one is already created, that is available in the by default in the script, my channel, and one I have included, the name is India. So in this way, you can create multiple channel, okay, between the peer of different peers. Okay. Similarly, you can check how many channels attached to the second organization. Simply type the org2. You see same, my channel 1 and India. So both uh, both is having the two channels. Okay. So you see, whenever you are activating the network.sh, what happened? Uh, it create the cryptographic material, generate the crypto material, okay, which is helpful in the interaction among the peers. Then generate the Genesis block, bring up the different component like the orderer. So since I'm using a local machine, okay, so by default the consensus protocol is a solo. Okay, why? Because in a single system, I'm going to make consensus. But suppose I'm going to make orderer, uh, uh, orderer among the different peers, and these peers are placed at the different location. Then you have to use either Kafka or Byzantine fault tolerance consensus protocol. The two peers is created to the two different organization. Certificate authority is created. Then after that you have to activate the channel. Okay, so create the channel and join the channel. In this, the channel is created, channel join both end of the peers. Okay, and then last step is how to deploy the chain code. Okay, so after creation of channel, the last part is deploying the chain code to the peers. okay, and then execute. Okay. So in order to deploy, yes, in order to deploy the chain code, I'm going to explain you some steps, command which is required. So what happened? Suppose I'm going to down the first. So what happened in this? Uh, for the deployment, again, I'm going to make it up. And then the command for deployment is /network deploy chain code. So if you do not mention the name of chain code, so by default the chain code is here the basic asset transfer in version 2.2. Earlier version has a by default chain code is a 5 card. Okay, so now you see you get some error. Okay, so why you get some error? Because you need some kind of uh, uh, changing the mode. Okay, changing the mode uh, to the system. Okay, so for that uh, you have to use to ch mode. So actually, what happened whenever you are going to create the deploy the chain code, chain code is going to go, going to attach to the each PS. Okay, so it is going to modify the some memory. Okay, and you see by default chain code is a basic asset transfer, and that is packaged into a tar file. Okay, so what happened? It requires some changing mode for read write. Okay, so that's why I have written 777. Okay, so I'm allowing the read write both operation over the chain code by the PS. Okay, and then here you have to yes. Then argument I have to set the user. Okay, path. So fabric where the fabric is installed. Okay, so um, workspace is not found here. Yes, MTK. So that is MTK. Okay, let me check. So, same I'm using the key. Okay, let me attach the second system. Uh, so I'm going to stop the presentation here. So is the screen visible? Yes. So PD fabric. Test network. Yes. So I'm going to first down the yes. Then suppose uh, I have up the network, okay, with create channel. So once channel is created, I have to deploy the chain code. So in order to deploy the chain code, again you have to write the network.sh, and then command is the uh, deploy. Let's see. So you see in this, uh, your by default chain code is uh, is attached to each peer. Okay, and since in this network there are two organization, org and org2, so if you see here, a chain code is packaged on peer 0 of org1. Okay, so actually yesterday I have explained what is the difference between a smart contract and the your chain code. So in Fabric, they have packages the all the smart contract code as well as some dependency within some container. Okay, in order to protect the business logic which is inbuilt within the smart contracts, because you know everyone is claiming okay blockchain is providing a very secure transaction, but itself blockchain network is prone to attack by the malicious user. If any malicious user is going to compromise the smart contract code, they can get a full authority of the blockchain network. Okay, so it's a challenge of a researcher to secure the smart contract code. So that's why the Fabric, Hyperledger Fabric, come up with the idea of chain code. Okay, so you see here, the chain code is packaged on this peer 0. Okay, similarly, uh, it is packaged to the org2, and this successfully it is installed. The query chain is successfully installed. Okay, to the my channel. Okay, chain code initialization is not required in this case. Okay, so I'm going to show you the state of the Docker. So you see here. Okay, I just clear the screen and then yes. Now you see how many images in the Docker. So these three are previously created. Okay, now after deployment of the chain code, okay, the two images is also created. Okay, so this first chain is attached to this one peer 0 org2, and other chain code is attached to the peer 0 org1. So the logic of the chain code is attached to the both end. So since blockchain network is a decentralized network, so the all the content, all the business logic, yeah, you can say all the software component must be available at each peer so that they can easily interact to each other. Okay, because it uses a peer-to-peer interaction. Okay, there is a no central server which is going to facilitate the communication among the peer. Okay, all the peer are asynchronously, okay, distributed all over the world. Okay, so by using their own software, the software which is installed at the peer on behalf of the client is going to contact to the another peers. Okay, so that's why the chain code is installed to each peers. Okay, so this is how we deploy the chain code. Okay, now the next one is uh, uh, I'm going to show you about the chain code. So cd dot. Is there any question? Okay. So cd. Sorry. Yes. So cd chain code ls. Okay. So I'm going to explain uh, a 5 car chain code which is available. So you see, you can write your chain code either in the Go language, either in the Java language, or either in the JavaScript. Okay, so the three, a single code can be converted into the multiple. Okay, so I'm going to show you the code, the chain code. The name of chain code is a 5 car, which is written in the Go. So simply go to the Go folder. Okay, and there is a source code available. This is 5 car Go. So simply write the node 5 car dot go. Okay, so but actually I'm calling the Visual Studio Code. Okay, sorry, code 5 car. So I'm just try to see you the code of the container by using the uh, Visual Studio Code. So if anyone interested to develop their own is chain code, yeah, smart contract, because you know in the Fabric how to create the network, you have to learn the different commands. Okay, there is no need to write the code for deploying the network. That is facilitated by the Hyperledger Fabric. The only you require to learn how to develop chain code logic. Okay, how to write the smart contract in the chain code, because if the application is different, then chain code is different. Okay, the creation of network, the channels, the number of peers, all are same for any application, only their name is different. Okay, their credential is different. Okay, but their structure is same. So that is already developed and provided by the Hyperledger Fabric. You have to learn the about the uh, chain code. So you see here, initially what we do, this set of code, like just like in the C program, we are calling the include std.io.h. Okay, the same manner, in any chain code, you have to include these set of instructions. So first one is a package main, and then you are going to import some packages. Okay, so since in order to store intermediate ledger information into the JSON file, okay, so by default, how to encode, what is should be the encoding method? So by default, encoding JSON is set here. FMT and string conversion, format and string conversion. These are the some packages you are going to import. Okay, and then you are going to import the since I'm going to develop the chain code in the Go language. So this package of the contrast copy, which provides a set of libraries. Okay, so generally what happen in this package, all the set, get, invoke, uh, you can say init functionality is written. Now, uh, depend upon the requirement of your smart contract logic. Okay, you are just defining some auxiliary variable, just like in the C program or Java program, you are defining the class. Okay, the same is here. Here they are going to create a structured variable. So here a structured variable is a contract. Okay, a object. Okay, a object of class type this. Okay. Similarly, uh, here in order to describe the different feature of car, so this chain code is developed for the transferring the ownership of car. So yesterday I have discussed to all. Okay, a chain code with the same example fab car, where uh, if a buyer, if a seller wants to transfer sell their car to the different buyer, so they just try to transfer the ownership of car from the uh, org1 to org2. Okay, so this structure, it just is created in order to store the features of the object. So here object is the car. So in the first, you are what is the making of the car, model, color, owner. Okay, so these information is stored in a structured variable. Okay, and then in order to store the queries, okay, the result of queries. So since the result of queries uh, uh, is a maybe a structured data, maybe an unstructured data. So that's why Fabric adopted the JSON. So JSON format they have used, and in the JSON format there is a beauty of the key value access. So with help of key, so JSON provide a database in which you can issue the queries to the JSON file with help of key. Okay, so in order to process the results, okay, uh, a structured variable is created, query result. Okay. Now in order to initialize some parameter, means initial value of the ledger. Okay, so what we do here, simply we create a function, and by default I have put some car, means these car is available to the to a seller. Okay, so you see here by default some value is initialized, means car, their make is Toyota, model is this one, color is blue, okay, owner is Tomoko. So these are by default we have initialized. Okay, now uh, uh, this one is used for displaying purpose. Okay, and then suppose if you want to add a new item into the ledger, so here what is the information of the ledger about the object car. So in order to insert the a new car, okay, which is available for the selling, okay, simply you call the function create call. Okay, and in the what happened the create call, they are using the structure type variable car and initializing the value, okay, of the different attributes, okay, and return the that variable. Now suppose if you want to query if you want to uh, inquire about the different features of car, what is the who is the owner of the car. So these, since these information is stored in the uh, this variable car. Okay, so by with help of that, here simply you are just accessing the JSON file. Okay, and with help of the car ID, okay, you are just accessing the JSON files. Okay, where the all the result is stored. Okay, suppose if you want to query about all cars, okay, if you want to display all cars, so simply you, so what happened in the smart contract, in smart contract you have to write different kind of transaction required by the peers. Okay, so what happened, all the peers, yeah, all organization must agree. Okay, by using this kind of rule we are going to interact, just like in India and China dialogue, they have already make some smart contract or agreement, and by using that agreement, the all the uh, participating officers from the both countries going to talk to each other. Okay, so there is a protocol. Okay, according to the agreement, both are going to in the same way in the blockchain network. All peer must agree for the smart contract. Okay, so according to a smart contract, they are going to interact to each other. So different queries, what kind of queries a peer can do, corresponding to the queries, you have to write the your own method. So just like here for query about a single car, this function is executed. If you want to uh, know about the world state of all cars, then you have to use this function. Okay. Similarly, suppose if you want to change the ownership of car, okay. So in the transaction, you are going to modify the ownership of a car. So with help of a smart contract, you are going to do the transaction. Okay. So this function just explore the word state, okay, and return the who is the owner, okay, and if they are going to change it, change it, then it asks the consensus. If consensus is meet, then that new owner is added into the block. However, the old owner is maintained within the ledger, within the blockchain. Okay, we are going to add. So here I want to clear you. There are two type of storage in the fabric. One is the persistent storage and immutable storage, like the blockchain, where all the historical transaction is stored, and the second one is the your word state. Okay, a memory pool which is work as a cache memory. Okay, so before committing the transaction, we are putting the endorsed transaction in the word state. Okay. And word state is not immutable. Okay, now you see here in the main function what you do, you just create a new chain code object. Okay, chain code. Okay, and then with help of that chain code, you are going to start the execution of your smart contract. Okay, by simply calling this. Now exception handling is included in all part of the code. Okay, in order to track, okay, is the chain code is created, is chain code started execution or not. Okay, so if you want to develop this chain code, my advice is use the Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code gives you a lot of facility to debug the code. Okay, and what are the different supporting packages are required? Yes, simply by default it is going to install. Okay, so yes, so this is about your chain code. Okay. Now I think time is over. Uh, you know, in order to uh, so all the hands-on, at least 5 to 6 hours are required. Okay, and also you need satisfactory knowledge of cell programming as well as the uh, network programming. Okay, so you are able to understand what is going on. Okay. Although if you don't know the system programming, you can still work. Then go for the JavaScript. Okay, write your smart contract to JavaScript. Okay, and by default, Fabric SDK for the JavaScript is available. And once chain code is deployed, okay, and Docker executed, at the by using the URL, you can access your blockchain network. There is no need to use the command line interface. Okay, so since I'm using the Go language, that's why I'm using the command line interface. If you are opting for the Java or JavaScript, okay, there is no need of to use the command line interface. Simply you have to deploy the node.js and issue all the command using the node. Okay, so node by default after execution it created a peer. Okay, and peer command is used for the interaction with the different peers of the blockchain. Okay, so that's all. I can take some queries if is there any doubt. Yes, participant. If you have any query, then you can ask.
Or you can post your query in the chat box also.
Yes.
Sir, I think No query from the participants.
I can understand actually. These are some difficult technology, okay, but it's better. Okay, maybe after pandemic, if time permits, we planned at NIT Raipur. Okay, so if hands-on happen at the center, okay, what are the difficulty you are facing, and for the whole week, if you involve in the understanding the system, then you can carry. But for the
Yeah.
starting point of view, it's uh, satisfactory.
Yes, sir. It's
Uh,
set for a nice session.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thanks for listening me. Thanks for your patience. Yeah, is there any question?
No, sir. I think no any query.
Okay. So I'm going to
Thank you,
sign
sir.
off.
Thank you. Thank you to give us vast knowledge of Hyper Laser Fabric 2.0 framework. Thank you, sir. Thanks to all those who listened to our guests so well. Thank you. Thank you all.
Sir Gupta ji, sir, thank you, sir. Okay, sir.